Madam Chancellor, David Suzuki has been called Canada's environmental conscience. Pointing out what is right and what is wrong, he holds Canadians accountable for our actions and our inactions. With his authenticity, passion, and perseverance, Dr. Suzuki inspires us to think critically about the planet and our relationship with it. UBC's relationship with Dr. Suzuki began almost 50 years ago. Starting out as a geneticist, he came to UBC as a professor in 1963. Today, he is a Canadian icon, a celebrated researcher, science broadcaster, and environmental activist. Through his award-winning work as a radio and television broadcaster, Dr. Suzuki has brought science into the homes of Canadians. The host of the long-running CBC series, The Nature of Things, and former host of Quirks and Quarks, he has a gift for making science accessible. He has worked tirelessly to help explain environmental issues and has a unique ability to convey the state of the planet and his passion for achieving a more sustainable world. He's also the co-founder of the David Suzuki Foundation, an organization that works to conserve our environment by providing science-based education, advocacy, and policy work, and acting as a catalyst for social change. As Canada's best-known environmentalist, Dr. Suzuki is an inspiration for generations of Canadians. He was made a Companion of the Order of Canada, a recipient of the Order of O.B.C, UNESCO's Kalinga Prize for Science, the United Nations Environment Program Medal, and the Right Livelihood Award. Madam Chancellor, for his ability to inspire us to think, act, and work together to protect the environment and to make the world more sustainable, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, upon David Takayoshi Suzuki.
By authority of the Senate of this university, I confer upon you, David Takayoshi Suzuki, the title and degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
It now gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Suzuki to say a few words.
Thank you very much. My friends, that's all I can say. Thank you very much for this great honor, which I like to think of as a validation of the work that I've committed my life to. Congratulations to all of my fellow recipients, or you're soon going to be recipients of degrees here. Congratulations on completing your degrees, and to your parents and all of the supporters that have helped you through this time. You've been, and I'm going to address my remarks to the graduates here today, you've been privileged to attend a university, which to me is a very special place in society, a place where scholars and dreamers and young minds not yet closed to possibilities explore ideas at the cutting edge of human thought. I spent most of my adult life at the University of British Columbia, where research and teaching have been my absolute joy and passion. It was students who asked me about the implications of cloning, of genetic engineering, and the green revolution in agriculture in the mid-1960s. It was students who shocked me because I was very proud of being a basic researcher. I was interested in peeling back the curtains of ignorance surrounding the secrets of nature. And I didn't know anything about all this applied stuff. I was just a basic scientist. I was studying the mechanics of cell division and chromosome behavior in fruit flies. But it was students who sent me scrambling to find answers to their questions, and it forced me to look at science in a bigger context, the history of science and the repercussions of ideas. And to my shock, I learned what I hadn't been taught, that early in the 20th century, geneticists had been intoxicated with the insights and power of their infant field. I learned that top geneticists had created a brand new area called eugenics, human breeding, complete with journals, courses, textbooks, and professional societies. And it was the enthusiastic claims of geneticists that led to immigration restrictions in the United States based on race, because some races were considered superior to others. There were laws passed in several states in the US prohibiting interracial marriage because it was believed it led to disharmonious combinations. Many mental patients were sterilized in Canada and the United States. Japanese Canadians and Japanese Americans were incarcerated because it was believed that such characteristics as treachery were racially inherited. The sterilization and deaths of gypsies, homosexuals, and Jews in Germany had been set by leading geneticists. In their exuberance over discoveries in fruit flies, corn plants, and guinea pigs, geneticists fell into the trap of extrapolating to human intelligence and behavior through the lenses of their own values and beliefs. One of the leading eugenics texts was by a Harvard professor, president of the Genetic Society of America, and in the preface it says, "In reality, the Negro is inferior to the white. This is not supposition or conjecture, but a crude statement of scientific fact." But inferiority or superiority are not scientifically meaningful terms. They are value judgments. This suggestion of racial superiority is not a historical artifact. It continues to be pushed by the University of Western Ontario's Philip Rushton. It was articulated by Nobel Prize winner James Watson recently, and he was forced to cancel a book tour in England because of the ensuing uproar. It was horror at the Holocaust, not any new scientific discovery, that led geneticists to shift to the belief that nurture, the environment, not nature, genes, was the primary determinant of human intelligence and behavior. Now that molecular biologists have developed astounding insights and tools to manipulate DNA, scientists are once again intoxicated with their powers, and once again we hear claims about virtually everything under the sun being determined by genes. Intelligence, homosexuality, shyness, aggressiveness, depression. Often scientists confuse correlation with causation. A university is a place where we should be able to examine the history of science, of the social, economic, and ecological ramifications of scientific discoveries and applications, like nuclear power, genetic engineering, climate change, clear-cut logging, salmon aquaculture, pharmaceuticals, and so on. Caught in financial squeezes, universities are re-examining themselves today. From Harvard to Oxford to UBC, universities have welcomed corporate investment and companies formed around labs at the university that threaten to inhibit the open and free exchange of ideas and criticisms. My career in broadcasting and writing and environmental activism was made possible by my university position, and I thank the university for acknowledging that in this honor today. I hope the university will continue to encourage the thinking and the actions outside of the box because that's what makes a university such a special place. Thank you very much.